Hey everybody, I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr. and this is the Dirty 30. The best highlights from all of our podcasts this week. 30 minutes every single Friday. The Dirty 30 coming at you. Let's get right to it.
Hey everyone, it's Kelly Earnhardt Miller here, and welcome into the RB studio for another episode of the Dale Jr. Download. I won't be by myself, though. In just a couple minutes, Marcus Smith, president of Speedway Motorsports, will be joining. And for a big announcement, although I'm sure a few of you could be guessing what that is. So enough about that. Let's bring Marcus in. So, you know, first things first, and I'm super curious about this from a team owner standpoint, because when they announced announcing the change with the Roval, that's a race that a lot of times we'll run our fifth car and we'll have a road course ringer, as they call them, right?
Right.
And a sponsorship or something that comes together that because somebody says, I want to run a road course.
Oh, okay.
And so with that news coming at this point in the year, what is that like? Like what brought that on? What's the time frame? How does that come together like that?
That's a great question. So we, I don't know. I haven't been thinking about it. I was thinking about lots of other things in our business going into January and coming out of December. But the Charlotte team was having a strategic meeting. They were just kind of talking about your planning. And Jessica Fickenshire said...
Smart lady.
She's smart. She said, what do you think about going back to the Oval in October? And of course... It's not the first time I've heard that because Dale has said it many times. And, but when Jessica said it and kind of in the context of the whole group, I said, well, what do y'all think? What do the fans think?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, when you think about the point system, kind of going back to the chase and that story of kind of going back to the way we were, the last time the chase was at Charlotte, it was the oval for the Coke 600 and the oval for the Bank of America 400. So I said, if you guys think that fans will like this and it'll be the best thing, certainly the racing is good. Dale will say, I told you so, and we'll all have fun. And so that was kind of how it happened. And so then we made a few phone calls to NASCAR and our TV partners, and of course Bank of America is a sponsor, and everybody thought it was a good thing if the fans were into it.
How much influence does the TV partner matter, and the process with NASCAR just being a decision that you can make within a month's time from a strategic meeting that you guys have in terms of all of your conversation, and then the other people that you have to talk with?
What I think is neat is that all of those parties care about what the fans think. And I think just the timing was such that, back when we introduced the Roval, it was at a time when road courses were having this amazing surge.
Mm-hmm.
Fans were saying, boy, we love road courses. They kind of race like a short track. And so we brought out the Roval, and it provided another road course in the schedule, a road course in the playoffs. And made for something new and different. So it was one of the highest rated races in TV for a couple of years. Great growth and great excitement, and some great highlights from the race. But I think the new car and the way NASCAR officiates, the racing hasn't been as exciting as it had been initially. So we want to deliver excitement. We want to deliver a great event that has fantastic competition and those amazing highlight worthy moments in racing. So all those people, whether it's NBC or NASCAR, sponsors, Bank of America and others, I think we're all in it together to make great competition happen and see the fans happy.
Well, yeah, you obviously wouldn't make a change unless you thought that good could come out of it, right?
Yep.
Dale, I can't talk from the perspective of running the Roval or running, the Roval and Oval. I know that if he were in this seat, he definitely would have a lot of comments about. But have you had driver feedback, as it relates to?
The best driver feedback I had was from Dale. He said, if you start listening to me, you'd make this decision 2 years ago. So yeah, I did laugh about that too.
That's funny. Well, most of the time, sometimes the only feedback that matters is Dale, right? So what's the process like for your team, to not the physical process, because I would imagine that it's going to be a little lighter, that you don't have to configure the road course, right?
Right,
So it's going
right.
to be lighter. But what's the whole process like? Does it change things for you as it relates to sponsorship, the amount of people? I imagine there's more camping spots available since
Yeah.
you can use everything and
That's
things
right.
like that. Like,
Probably the biggest thing is camping.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's going to be a big thing for fans to be able to camp again on that turn 1 and 2 side of the oval. So that's really the biggest thing. And of course, the work that goes into converting Charlotte Motor Speedway from oval to Roval is tremendous. So our operations team just got a huge
They're like, "Phew."
relief. Yeah. So it'll be kind of neat. And I think the racing in May for the 600 has been fantastic. Bringing that to the fall will be I think fantastic again. It'll be neat to see how the teams react to that from the spring to the fall. And certainly should be exciting.
Super cool. It is going to be exciting. I do think with the points system the way it is, road courses present a challenge for a lot of the drivers,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
And lots can happen. There's a lot of beating and banging and moving around. So that strategy for teams and drivers should look a lot different,
Yeah,
going into the
I
oval.
think you mentioned as a team owner, kind of the factors that you all think about and should go in from season to season.
Mhm.
From my perspective, as a promoter and as a fan of NASCAR, throwing a wrench in the system sometimes actually produces some excitement. So
Yeah.
if this creates a little bit more excitement, creates a challenge that needs to be solved for some of the teams, I think that generally works out pretty good
Yeah.
for the fans, and it makes some excitement happen for the teams, and it should be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah. Very exciting. All right. What about, what can we expect in terms of the stability of the oval versus the Roval? Is that something you're going to look at year to year?
I think after reviving North Wilkesboro Speedway, there's nothing that's not doable. I thought you'd never get that speedway, to actually operate again. So we've got a wonderful racetrack in the classic oval at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We've got a fantastic world-class road course with the Roval, and we'll bring that back at different times. But for now, we'll be running the oval, and we'll see what happens.
Well, the cool thing is I think the adaptability is great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can react to what's going on in the market, what fans are asking for, what the entire lineup of the series looks like, track to track, and you proved that already with the Roval. So
yeah, well,
the oval it is. Here we go.
That's right. I love driving the Roval. From a sports car perspective, it's super fun to drive, and we've got a lot of customers that like to drive it. So outside of NASCAR week, we'll still have plenty of opportunities for our different driving experiences and OEM customers to come out and enjoy the Roval.
Very cool. We did the Del Junior ride-alongs for a lot of years at the Speedway until the Roval came.
Yep.
And then that was, that presented a bit of a challenge. Not that people wouldn't have liked the Roval, but as you know, what Del Junior's temperature was on road courses. And so we've pivoted. We've done it at North Wilkesboro, and so maybe we can get back to Charlotte. It was a fun weekend to provide for fans that did the ride-alongs with the Hall of Fame being here, and we could just have a weekend of all things taken in the races at the Speedway and whatnot.
All right, so
Snowmageddon. Let's talk about the snow for a second and the amount of time these kids are out of school.
Yeah, I noticed that it's been very
it's been stressful
for you.
It's almost giving me like COVID vibes in the house, like we're on lockdown, can't go anywhere.
God, I love it.
I know you love it. You got your chef, your toys, and your hobbies and all the things, and you don't have anybody bothering you. It's like your favorite thing. But I need people. Like I need energy from other people and being stuck in the house with, everybody needing things from me is just, it's a lot.
Really?
I'm not the only one that feels that way. Some of the other moms that have literally, their kids have not gone back to school
Yeah.
yet are about to lose it, like truly lose their
Really?
minds. Yes, because doing the school and all the things virtually when you don't know how to do Common Core math or like all the things that the kids have to do, it's a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
on your mind. You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you?
I don't. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't. I'm thinking, man, the kids are home. We get to hug on them all day.
Yeah. I mean, that part is good.
And
I like the snuggles
yeah.
and not having to pack lunches.
And I know they're
Like
going
there are
to
a couple little things that are
I
great.
know they're going to go back. And I know that, things are going to go back to normal. And it is never going to snow like this again. Ever. I
Oof.
mean, most likely. This is the most snow that I remember ever getting in the, 40 years I can really recall.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have 2 or 3 snows in the winter that were 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches at the most back in the 80s. And then it kind of trailed off to maybe 1 snow a year.
Yeah.
Or a little, little dusting. That was crazy.
It wasn't expected
No.
to have the weather.
It
but
was awesome.
It was very magical, and the girls playing in it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Getting them dressed, I didn't even mind that part. Just the taking the clothes on and off, getting the boots. Like we got the order down.
I think the way you feel is how I feel about the dog.
What?
Because Gus has been next level annoying. Because and I'm sorry if this is bothering some of you animal dog lovers. I've got a dog. I'm a dog lover, but I don't love the way he's been acting.
He too feels trapped. He's like, I
He's
want to go
gonna stir
outside.
crazy.
I want to drink out of the fountain that's now frozen over. That's his. He thinks that's his water bowl. Truly.
Yeah.
So he
This
goes
is
outside
what-
and he's like,
This is the experience with Gus. All right. So usually Gus is happy, calm, laying around, napping all day. And he gets excited when he wants to go outside, and he hops around on the floor, and that's the cue. I want to go out. And he's thrilled, go over to the door, open it up, goes outside, and he's going to come back to the door in about 10 or 15 minutes, and he'll bark. He might lay down on the porch for a while and chill and look out. And then he'll start barking. You'll just hear him burp, burp. And that's come get me, let me back in. No problem. He's going to want to go do this again, maybe an hour or two later. And that's sort of the pattern, and that's what we've done for a long time. But during the snow, so we got the ice first, right? We had that ice storm. Gus is getting old, and he's got arthritis in his hips, and he's got a bunch of fatty growths and all this stuff. And
he's
he has
sore.
a harder time.
Yeah.
He jumps up on the couch. It's not as easy as it used to be.
Sometimes he
la-
misses. Sometimes he
yeah.
straight misses.
When he lays around for a while and he gets up, it's a while before he can get moving. So he kind of, if he lays down, like all of us at our age, if he lays down, when you get up, you're sore, from sitting in the same spot for 5 minutes. And so, so we get the ice storm. He goes outside and his feet bust through the ice. He gets 15 yards from the house and his feet bust through the ice. And he's like, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Hey.
He goes catatonic
Hey.
and just starts
Hey.
barking and
Hey.
won't move.
Yeah, he won't move. He's 15 feet from the door, and his feet have just fell through the 2 inches of ice, and he's like, come get me. I'm stuck. And that's literally it. And so
Dale's like, I think something's wrong with the dog because
Okay.
he's walking around out there like he's basically sliding, but he's hunched over like he
He's-
won't stand up straight
yeah,
all the way.
he walks so funny on the ice.
I'm like, I think that's his arthritis, or maybe I think he's going to the bathroom and he's
He-
not. I don't know. What did he get into? What'd you feed him?
If
We're like going
we-
through the mountain of things other than it's just ice.
If we don't take him out before bedtime, he gets us up at 4, 2, 1, 3 in the morning. He gets us up, and Amy might take him down some, but most of the time I'm taking him down. And I go down there, let him out. I'm in my damn underwear, and I let him out.
We didn't
and,
need that.
Huh? I'm sorry?
We didn't need that. He said.
It's hard to catch what you're saying. I'm just letting you know that I'm not ready to walk
He's not
outside.
prepared for what is
'Cause
about
that's
to
what's getting ready to
ensue.
happen. He goes out in the yard, falls through the ice, and he's like, all right, come get me. And I'm like, all right. So I go put on pants, put on a jacket, go outside, and I go to him, And as soon as I go to him, he starts growling at me. Like, am I helping you? You don't want help? What's the damn deal? You going to growl at me? I'm out here. It's damn 15 degrees outside. I'm here to carry your ass, your 80-pound ass inside, and you're growling? And I'll take him back inside. So that's what happens in the middle of the night. What happens during the day is he wants to go outside. You take him outside. He stands on the porch. He goes, it's cold. Let me back in. So he starts barking at the door. You let him back in. 5 minutes goes by, and he has completely forgotten about that, and he wants to go back outside.
He's restless as hell.
And he goes back outside, and he's like, holy shit, it's cold out here. Let me back in. And he wants back in, and then 5 minutes later, he's forgotten about that. And it's like this constant, like, he's like, let me out. And you're like, we just let you out. Like, what are you doing? You going out there? Are you using the bathroom at all?
I think he wants you to come out with him. So when it's warmer, he and I go out for a walk. Well, we haven't been doing that. And so he's like getting all excited because he wants you to come outside with him. When you close the door and he's like, oh, damn, I don't want to be out here by myself.
I don't entertain that idea.
No, because you've never been the one to walk in.
Ever going to be, I'm taking the dog for a walk. We live on a farm. My dog takes his own ass for a walk. I don't live in the city. I'm not walking my dog down the road to get his legs stretched out. If his ass needs to go outside, he can take his own ass for a walk. We got 300 acres. Be my guest. Wear yourself out. But this we got to take him for a lap so his anxiety calms down. I have a hard time with that.
You are that.
I am
you
that.
You are just like that.
I don't need you to take me for a walk around the property.
No, but you need me to lay on the couch with you so you can recharge, as you say. Well, what's the damn difference?
I don't know.
He's used to that. We walk together. We get the energy out. He has not been able to do that. That's why he's bothering you. But also, he doesn't growl at me. Like, if I go outside with the dog or if I go lay on him on the couch, he doesn't growl at me. Not ever. No. He only does that to Dale. Yeah. I don't know what that is. They have like this weird relationship, but
yeah, we're dudes.
Maybe you could have cleared a path for him where he gets some grass to,
we did that. Yeah, I laid it. So when the ice storm was coming, preemptively, I laid out all of the felt blankets and different blankets like I have in the dog room, down the stairs, across the path, into the grass. So he had his own little section that was not going to get iced. And he would walk over the ice he was always going towards that fountain. Yeah. But anyway, He's just spoiled. He's got all those things. He just wants attention.
I haven't had to go outside to pick him up and bring him back in since the ice. Right? It's been a week. We had 7.5 inches of snow. I'm like, all right, we're over the ice. The other 2 nights ago, he's like, I got to go downstairs. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We get down.
I like how you interpret how he's speaking. If he could speak to you.
He's like, oh. He gets up. His bed is in the floor at the end of our bed. Yeah. And he gets up and he paces up my side, up Amy's side.
He's just waiting to see who's going to get up first.
And he pants really loudly.
And he drags his feet.
Yep. So he's intentionally making as much noise as he can to get one of us to get up and let his ass go downstairs. He will not go down a set of stairs. He falls. If he goes down the stairs,
he will slide all the way down.
He can't see very good. His legs don't work. So we got to go down an elevator. So I get up. I take him into the elevator. We go down. And he doesn't go to the front door, which is where he should go. He wants to go out back. Out back's the hill that he's getting stuck on. But we haven't happened in a couple days. And his ass goes out there, and I watch him. And he walks around. He takes his poop. He takes his pee. And then
he just around.
He locks up. He goes, come get me.
He's playing
He's down this hill, and I see him
he's like, I know you're going to be cold, and I know you don't have any clothes on.
He's moving his front legs. He's like, I can't get up the hill.
He's asserting his dominance over you, Dale.
Yeah.
No, he's acting
That's exactly what it is.
He's acting like he needs a wheelchair.
He's like, you ain't the boss of me. I'm the boss of me.
I'm the
come
captain.
Get me, help. Come get me. I'm going to freeze.
Yeah, you're his.
That's not right. But that's not how it is. So I have to get my pants on and go out there and pick him up. Don't pick me up. And I'm like, this sucks.
You wanted this.
I did not want this. This is not the part. I don't know that this is experience for every dog owner.
Well, when they get older, you have all kinds of things you didn't experience. You didn't have that with Rocket. Right?
Look, I don't want to put him down. I'm not saying let's get rid of him.
Well, I didn't hear you
I
say
just
that.
wanna
Not
get it off
accusing
my
you of
chest.
that.
I just want to get it off my chest. I believe so maybe that's me relating to you, right? And you're feeling like you got island fever, you're, claustrophobic and need to get out of the house
Yeah.
and need to see some friends.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Earnhardt Jr. and welcome to the RB studio for the new season of the Dale Jr. Download. We have a pretty incredible guest coming in here. I'm pretty excited about this. It's one of my favorite people that's in the industry today, Danny Lawrence. Let's bring him into the room. And again, like in happy hour is the last practice, your last chance to make sure everything's right. We ran 20 minutes of an hour and stopped. And I'm like, this is how Dad did it. This is Dad. Y'all always were covering y'all's car up early.
Yeah.
If y'all were always messing with the competition, putting the cover on the car 30 minutes before the end of practice. And I'm like, man, this is neat. It was like I was kind of seeing it through the lens of what Dad would experience with y'all. And we went out and ran the race, and it was effortless. The car was...
He knew what he wanted just like you did.
Well...
Speaking of car covers,
yeah.
87 we go to Daytona. And that's back when Beatty was the crew chief, and they back then we never cheated. And I'm gonna tell you the Andy Petrie story right after this, but we pushed everything to the end of the rules. And back then they had, a long template and a side template and this and that. So at Daytona, you needed a totally different car than you needed at Talladega.
Really?
The racetrack was rough. It would get hot, this and that. So you needed a car to be able to handle for the long. So the back end of our car was 4 inches longer. The spoiler and all, the back deck lid and all that stuff was longer. And our car looked different. And they came over the speaker and they said, at 12 noon, anybody that wants to see the templates put on the 3 car.
What?
Yeah, because we were the champions, so we had the first stall.
They said that over there.
Oh, yeah. So all these people came over. They put all the templates on the car. Everything fit perfect. So we're covering car up at the end of the day, and the car cover won't fit because the car cover is made off of a regular car. We couldn't get it over the back. It was like, oh well, it's one thing that we missed on it, but it was fine. It was good, but we weren't the only ones. There was some of those cars look alike.
I know that, like Daryl and those guys. You can go. There's a Waltrip car in the museum at Talladega, and it's like 4 inches narrow.
Yeah.
The Junior Johnson Bud car. You go in there and you can look at it and just tell it's like super narrow. And so yeah, they were playing some games before, because at that point, I think around 85, 86, you had the long tip and that was it.
Yeah.
They weren't measuring the width. But you were going to tell another story.
So
Andy Petrie.
The Andy Petrie thing. So Andy Petrie shows up at RCR. He's going to be the crew chief. He comes in and he's been there for about a week, and he says, "Okay, now show me y'all stuff." I'm like, what are you talking about? All your tricks, your magic, your all the things, all the cheating stuff that y'all did. So Glenn grabs hold of him, carries him over there, set up plate right in the middle of the room, and he goes, "See that seat right there?"
Huh?
He goes, "Yeah. That's where all our magic is, the guy that sits in that seat. We don't have no nitrous. We don't have no movable this. We weren't doing any of that stuff. It was all basics." And that was the truth. And Andy was like, "You don't have no trick spoilers or no trick cowls or no way to move the fenders or take lead out." I'm like, "No, we don't have none of that. You don't have any, 5-speed transmissions or what? No, we don't have any of that. You don't have any aluminum panels or any way to cause a caution or." "No, we don't have any." He goes, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
I'm like, and he couldn't believe it. He could not believe it.
Yeah.
But so Andy's thing was, "We gonna have some of that stuff." And then Richard's like, "Andy, you embarrass us and it's on you."
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Andy had all that stuff, all the other places he ran, and he this and that, but
he brought that damn spoiler from the Skull car.
Yes.
I have it.
Yes.
With the wires and the retractor where the spoiler
Yeah.
laid down. He said they used it in qualifying when they were scared to do it in the race. So, can imagine you could see it if you were behind him. But I kind of always wondered. We talk about that all the time on here with folks about ingenuity and cheating and all that stuff. And I got this big old LED radio right here that Gary Nelson. He brought that over. That's from like 1978.
Gotcha.
Diegard, Dare Waltrip. That thing, it's tungsten. It's not lead. But that I was in Nashville yesterday speaking at the Cattlemen and Beef Association and telling them about the Dare Waltrip story where they had the lead shot in the frame rail and it come out the jack stop, and then every time NASCAR would go look for it, they couldn't see the hole because the jack was jacking the car up on the jack stop. But so y'all never.
No.
I mean, how do you believe? How do you get people like this is my question to you: is I believe you, all right? I believe you when you tell me that you wouldn't bullshit me, but in a garage that is like cheating or bending the rules or whatever is rampant. I mean, it was like a badge of honor. Everyone in the garage felt like they had one over the next guy. They don't know about what I'm doing here. And every guy in the garage, you'd look in the eyes of all of those crew chiefs back in the 80s, and all of them had something they were hiding. And it's hard for me to believe that you guys were 100% on the up and up.
So there's a picture floating around of your dad with his foot underneath the front of the car. That's nothing. That is, and people are like, that's how he won all those races.
I like it.
He would.
There's that picture. I see it every now and then, probably every 6 months on social media. And that picture makes me think, I kind of do want people to think Dad was smarter than the technical inspectors. I kind of like, because he was, he thought he was smarter than everybody else. And that's a image of him in his mind. But what he's truly doing in that picture, and y'all aren't weighing the car. I mean, that would be, lifting the car with his foot would go against the minimum weight.
Yeah.
One of the things that Dad did that a lot of people don't realize is he walked around like back in the 80s and the 90s, the front valence height on the car was critical to speed and how competitive your car was going to be. And he would walk around, and he wanted to, if he could, take a tape measure to every car out there on the grid or in the garage, right? But instead of doing that, he'd walk over and slide his foot under there and see what shoelace, because he had them racing shoes on that laced all the way up to the ankle. And he'd see what shoelace that valence hit. And he would then walk off and go, well, that went up to the 7th shoelace. That's a little higher than the last one.
That's exactly what he would do.
That's what he's doing. And that's what he's kind of doing in that picture, is like measuring the valence with his foot. And that was kind of his way of kind of seeing if he was where he needed to be and where the competition was at.
You're exactly right. He knew a lot about those cars. And when you and Kelly and Carrie and all were going to start driving, he came in the truck one day and he said, I'm going to make them work on those cars or they're not driving. I want them to be able to realize what it takes, what you guys go through and what it takes to race. Yeah. And I know he made you work on the cars there so that, so you could appreciate what it is. It doesn't just happen. Yeah. And how easy you can tear one up. Mm-hmm. And, weeks and weeks and weeks of work, and you can tear one up in just a minute.
Oh, yeah.
He was, when you were winning all those races, he was so proud of you. He'd come back in, he'd be like,
Happy hour was right after our races in the Busch Series. And I didn't get to see him. Yeah. He might pop into Victory Lane. We wind over, right? 98 or something, I think. He pops into Victory Lane. He's got a suit on. Yeah. Right? Because he's getting ready to get in his car. And he's there for like a minute. Yeah. Hug, high five, slap on the forehead, whatever, right?
And that's about what you're going to get.
And then he's gone. I'm like, damn, I wish he was hanging around. We're going to take all these pictures, and I want to, in 5 or 10 minutes, if he had hung out, I might actually get to hear what he's thinking, right?
Yeah.
But he'd be gone, jump in his car. Because he had to be first out or didn't
Yeah.
want, it was a competition. He was back in his mode.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
And it's great to have Danny Lawrence in the RB studio to kick off the season. Hopefully y'all enjoyed getting to know Danny and what he's all about. Thank y'all.